Hey guys, what's going on? It's Salvage here, and welcome back to another Spider-Man 2 video. And this one, we're going to be talking about the 5 villains I think that we need in this next game. Now, this is just my list, my wish list. I want to hear your guys' thoughts and your wish list in the comments below. Go ahead and comment that below. And while you're down there, go ahead and like and subscribe if you're new. We're almost to 49,000 subscribers. That's incredible. I'm trying to get to 50K before August, so if you could do that for me, if you guys can help me out, that'd be much appreciated. So let's go ahead and go into my first pick. The first one's got to be Mysterio. I think that would be an incredible addition to this game. If they try to introduce him in some type of even like Scarecrow-esque way where they're trying to mess with Peter's mind, or they even give him his worst fears come to life, that would be really, really awesome. Or going through a type of Mysterio world while you're just swinging around, like something like that. Kind of similar to what they did with Scorpion, where you're just swinging around with the acid, whatever, river floating up and covering the buildings. I think it would be really, really impressive and really awesome to see a Mysterio world where everything's just trippy. It maybe like it looks like that one painting with the fucking swirly, fucking background. I don't know what the hell. I'm so uneducated and illiterate. It's probably some painting that should be well known, but you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. If they make it look like that while you're swinging through New York, oh man, that Mysterio mission would fucking bang, bro. It would be so good. And also, they did do something, and Irongen, one of my other YouTube friends that I've met on here and collaborated with, has mentioned this before. They have kind of teased in a way that it might be a female Mysterio too. So if they have Mysterio, boom, yeah, I know, that was good, don't worry, I know. If they have a gender bent Mysterio, I think a lot of people will be pissed, but I want to give a shit. That would be really, really amazing, especially if they make her really, really cool. Like, it doesn't really matter. I really want to see something like that. Just make fucking Spider-Man go ape shit. It would be nice to see. The next one is Morbius. Now, technically, he is in the first. Technically, Michael Morbius, or what is it? Morgan Michaels is technically an alias for Morbius. So him being in the game and maybe somehow genetically mutated in some way to become a vampire, it would be very hard to turn that guy into Morbius. But it was kind of hard to turn Dr. Octavius into Doc Ock. So I genuinely think that they can do it in some way, shape, or form. It would be very interesting, and I like the voice actor as well. He is literally incredible and perfect, so go ahead and make him Morbius. I think that would be a fun little boss battle to have, and it would actually have some emotional stake because, well, I would assume that he probably knows who Peter is in some way, shape, or form. I mean, he saw Aunt May and the way that Peter was reacting to that, so he probably put 2 and 2 together and probably knows in some way, shape, or form. So that'd be a nice conflict, or maybe he wants to help out in some way, shape, or form. We've seen Morbius as an anti-hero too, so we could see that come to fruition in some way. And I think that Insomniac would take that character and kind of amplify them to another extent if they really wanted to. The next, I guess 2 or 3, not like the actual list, but I have one that has multiple ones. The next one's a Spot. I think Spot would be an interesting villain. Like, even keeping him as a goofy villain, or maybe even treating him a little bit more serious, like what Across the Spider-Verse is kind of doing. That would be nice to see. But if they're going to try to make him into a bigger villain, maybe just wait until the 3rd game. But if they're trying to make him into more like a screwball type villain, I think that would be interesting to see as well. Just making him a little bit of a joke, more of an inconvenience than more of an actual threat, or someone to just really mock around and have fun with. That'd be nice to have, just a nice little levity villain to kind of bring the dark tone a little bit down, because right now we're having villains that are snapping necks and potentially going to be eating people. We don't know what Venom's going to be doing, but I'm assuming he's going to be eating people. I hope that he starts eating people in this game. That would be very interesting. But you never actually know what these dark villains are going to do, so some levity villains would be nice to have to, of course, keep that tone a little bit down. Like I was saying, the next one is they're goofy villains. I think that like Big Will, or even like potentially The Wall, would be interesting. Look, I actually just had a weird epiphany. What if for The Wall, right, you're swinging around the city, kind of like, it's almost like the Taskmaster thing. I almost compared it to Batman Arkham Knight with Man-Bat. But what if you're just swinging around the city, and then bam, a fucking wall hits you out of nowhere. And you're like, what the fuck? What the hell just happened? And then you're just like, oh, maybe I'm just going crazy. Maybe it was Mysterio. And then you're swinging around again, and then bam, one just flies out of nowhere again and hits you in the face. Dude, that would be incredible. I know it's super goofy as shit, but I think that would be one of the funniest fucking things. It would be an incredible jump scare too if you're like wall running and then the wall just comes to life and bounces you off or hits you in some way and you have to start fighting the wall. Oh my god, that would be funny as shit. So having goofy villains like that, or Big Will, having a Big Will roll through the city and you have to web up the Big Will, kind of like a Ferris wheel. Maybe he's disguising as a Ferris wheel on Coney Island, and the Ferris wheel comes to life, and now it's a big wheel going through the city. See, I'm just making this up on the spot, and it could be incredible. Bring in Spot for a goofy villain. I'm saying, it's perfect. All right, the last one. I think most people actually want to see this villain. It's top of the list for probably most people. It's Screwball. I want to see Screwball come back. She was literally one of the best parts of the first game, and anybody that says otherwise is a idiot. Yeah, that's right. You're a dumbass if you think Screwball. It's so, there's only a limited amount of time I can do that before I start breaking, but I'm joking, of course. I want Green Goblin in this game. Rather, Green Goblin all the way, like he's like one of the main like 3 villains or whatever. He's a secret villain like Dr. Octavius was. You know, maybe they do another E3 demo or another trailer demo where they have a little bit of a tease for a secret villain, and they try to like think that it's like Carnage or some shit, but then actually in the game, kind of like what they did with Doc Ock and Green Goblin in the first game, where they said it was like a glider flying up for Green Goblin in the lockdown trailer, but then it was actually Doc Ock. I've said that multiple times, but they could do the same thing here. Maybe have it be like a red goo comes on the screen, but it's actually fucking Green Goblin. And maybe he's in some way trying to help Harry defeat Spider-Man. I think that would be a very interesting take to have. Harry and Norman both going at you as Venom and Green Goblin. Or maybe just make Norman Venom like they wanted to, and make Harry Green Goblin. Give him the thing like they did in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And he starts like doing the werewolf transforming thing and becomes Green Goblin. I don't know if I could show that actually without being detailed. Oh my god! Oh no! Fuck! Okay, yeah, I didn't want to see that. Alright, so even if they tease Green Goblin at the end of the next game, like, I am a-okay with that too. I think that would be interesting to see him in this game, just like even his design or something, or what they did with Venom in the first game where they're just teasing him at the very end, and then they have like a DLC or like maybe a spin-off game before the next third game, and then they of course do that again. That'd be very interesting to see. Overall, all these villains would be nice. Even Screwball, for crying out loud. I would love to see all these villains introduced in some way, shape, or form. And if they don't do it in this game, I hope they introduce them in a third game and go a little bit more wacky with the third game. Maybe they lighten up the tone. They go from light to very dark to maybe back to light again, and they do that type of transition. But who knows? I think that those villains would be a perfect inclusion in this game, and I would love to see how they would actually include them in their own universe, because Insomniac has a really good track record of at least doing something comic accurate, but also doing something on their own. And I personally like their boss battles. I know a lot of people want to like bitch and moan about the boss battles. Oh, they're not good enough. But I feel like flying around, you know, web swinging and fighting Vulture and Electro in the sky was a very fun boss battle. Fighting Scorpion and Rhino on the ground, yeah, you don't fight them individually, but it's still fun to go through and fight them together. And I think that those dual boss battles were very, very fun and interesting, and I had a lot of fun moments. So those were some of the most memorable moments in the whole game for me, were doing those boss battles. So I know a lot of people think that they should do improvements to that, and I think that those villains would be a nice improvement to have, and they could do something interesting with their bosses as well. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. You guys always have the best ones. Thank you guys so much for all the support and watching these videos. I've been trying to do my best. This green screen's been so fun to work with, and honestly, it seems like you guys enjoy it. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.